Welcome, Brokers Podcast.
Hello, and welcome to the audio version of Don's Discussion. Don's Discussion is a bi-monthly guidance column in IA&B's primary agent magazine and is written by Don Bankus, IA&B's Legal and Corporate Affairs Director. The question posed for the December 2025 column is there an age at which licensed producers becomes totally exempt from the requirement to take continuing education CE in order to renew their license? And the answer is, while the statutes and regulations governing CE requirements vary for each of IA&B's 3 states, the good news, at least if you're an optimist, is that each state may provide at least some degree of exemption or credit for the seasoned producer. The available exemptions/credits are as follows. For Delaware, general requirement. Resident licensees are required to complete 24 credit hours during each 24-month licensing period. Exemption, credit. A licensee who has been continuously licensed for 25 years or longer prior to the start of their licensing period, or who holds an approved professional designation, shall receive an automatic credit of 12 credits in each biennium. Of note, the 12 automatic credit hours cannot be applied to fulfill any applicable flood 2 hours, ethics 3 hours, or long-term care 3 hours, CE requirements. Applicable statutes or regulations. 18 Delaware Admin Code 504, at Section 8.0 Licensee's Responsibility, specifically at subsection 8.3, Automatic Credit. In Maryland, general requirement. Licensees are required to complete 24 credit hours during each 24-month licensing period. Exemption, credit. If a licensee has held a license for 25 or more consecutive years as of October 1, 2008, the licensee shall only be required to complete 8 hours of CE in each renewal period. Of note, if you qualify for the above exemption, you're still required to meet any flood 2 hours, ethics 3 hours, and/or long-term care 2 hours, CE requirements, if applicable. Exemption, age. In addition, per Maryland Insurance Administration Producer Bulletin 13-7, licensees who were age 70 and above as of April 30, 2013, are exempt from the general CE requirements. Of note, if you qualify for the age exemption, you're still required to meet the flood 2 hours and long-term care 2 hours CE requirements, if applicable. In addition, while the flood CE requirement will not be monitored by the Maryland Insurance Administration, it likely may be monitored by Write Your Own carriers and/or the NFIP. Applicable statutes or regulations. Maryland Insurance Code Section 10-116, specifically at subsection 10-116A33, Code of Maryland Regulations or COMAR, Section 31030-203, specifically at subsection B. Maryland Insurance Administration Producer Bulletin 13-7, specifically at subsection 2. And for Pennsylvania, general requirement. Licensees are required to complete 24 credit hours during each 24-month licensing period. Exemption, age. A licensee who was licensed prior to January 1, 1971, and who has been continuously licensed for all lines of authority since that time, is exempt from CE requirements. Of note, if the licensee adds a line of authority or lets his or her license lapse, the age exemption becomes inapplicable. Applicable statutes or regulations. 40 Pennsylvania Statute Section 310.8, specifically subsection 310.8C1. As you can see, none of our 3 states is overly generous with regard to eliminating and/or reducing a seasoned professional's CE requirements. And, while we continue to lobby the state's respective insurance departments and legislatures for amendments or revisions to broaden eligibility for age exemptions for CE credits, our attempts thus far have yet to bear fruit. Thank you for listening.
Insurance Agents and Brokers is the premier resource and champion for independent insurance agencies in Pennsylvania, Maryland, and Delaware. For more information, visit iabforme.com.
This is not a legal opinion and should not be relied upon as such. The intent is to provide a general background regarding the topic or topics discussed, not to provide legal advice. Producers and agencies should consult an attorney regarding specific situations and specific questions with respect to the topic or topics covered. Neither IA&B nor any of its employees shall be responsible for any errors or omissions regarding any statements made, nor any errors or omissions regarding any statutes, regulations, court rules, and/or any other government documents cited.